Orange County Supervisor John Moorlach has whipped up a firestorm by attacking the pension plan that is currently in place for the Orange County Sheriffs Deputies.
I've had to step back and I've had to say, would I do the same thing if everyone in the Deputy Sheriff's Union were my high school buddies, and we go way back, and we're friends, and I'd say, based on my understanding of the state constitution and my responsibility to uphold it, I would still do this because it's the right thing to do.
Supervisor Moorlach is justifying his actions based on legal investigations conducted by his Chief of Staff, Mario Mainero.
When he came into office and when we kind of got started, he asked if I wouldn't mind doing a little legal research regarding the subject. Article 16, Section 6, the gift of public funds prohibition, and Article 11, Section 10A, which prohibits local governments from awarding extra compensation for services already performed. And it would seem fairly clear at that point that on the face of it, these sections had been violated as well.
When we came to that conclusion, we said, well, now how do we resolve this? And the only clean, fair way to do that is to rescind the retroactive portion of the new benefit, and that then will affect a few people that have already retired, but it will at least make the termination of unconstitutional payments stopped.
Orange County Sheriff Mike Carona is concerned that Supervisor Moorlach is unfairly targeting solely his deputies.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if any of those legal arguments hold true, but if they hold true, it wouldn't be just for AOCDS or my deputies union. It would hold true for the entire state of California, because this was a decision that was made by the state legislature that enabled all the state and other counties and cities to opt into it. What I disagree with is, the application only on deputy sheriffs and the fact that he's arguing points that don't seem to be truthful about retroactivity and who paid for it, and whether or not this is a gift of county funds.
It pertains just to our public safety employees, because when the other employees negotiated for a retroactive benefit, they agreed to withhold from the employees an amount that would satisfy the retroactive portion. So they got an increased benefit at retirement, but they're paying in for that benefit now. So that would not be a gift. That would not be payment for prior services, theoretically, and you wouldn't really have created a new debt. You've got a payment source outside the general fund to take care of it. So that is not the case with the Deputy Sheriff's contract, the Association of Deputy Sheriffs.
I'm not figuring out how it applies only to deputy sheriffs and to DA investigators. Assuming this retroactive pay portion of it is the issue that he's putting forward from a legal perspective, and again, I'm not a lawyer, all of our notes and the pay documents that we show give the appearance that this was paid for by the employees and by the county, and that all the unfunded liability was identified, calculated, that risk assessment was put into play, and when the Board of Supervisors made the decision, they made it knowing full well what the costs were behind it and how they were going to pay for that.
Is the pension increase of 3% at age 50 merely a gift to the sheriff's deputies, or is it a purposeful tool that benefits the citizens of Orange County by enticing quality candidates to hire on to the sheriff's department?
Did 3% at 50 have a value to the organization? Unquestionably. We're in one of the toughest hiring markets in the United States. When you look at LAPD, LASO, all of the major law enforcement agencies throughout the Southern California area, the number one topic out there is being able to recruit trained law enforcement professionals. Tough field to bring people into, tough to get good candidates. We're all coming up with different programs. San Diego County Sheriff's Department pays a $5,000 bounty if you bring somebody in addition to paying them 3% of 50, in addition to paying them their salaries. So it's a very, very competitive environment. 3% at 50, when it was passed, did create an opportunity for us to say, we in the Orange County Sheriff's Department offer the following package. If you want to be a deputy sheriff, here's the salary, here are the benefits, and we have 3% at 50. It was clearly an enticement, and that's why it was put into play, to bring people in.
Giving a retroactive benefit had nothing to do with recruitment. That was basically a gift to existing employees. It was not a recruitment tool. That's sort of a kind of a way to obfuscate what they've done. However, there's a front door and there's a back door. And maybe they're not coming in fast enough in the front door, but they're certainly leaving way too quickly out of the back door. And you're losing people at age 50 that could be captains, lieutenants, and chiefs. These are people with great experience. They may even leave the sheriff's department and go to the DA or go to a city or be a chief somewhere else, and then they double dip and get their retirement and their salary. And so we're paying now double or triple for certain positions because of this activity.
We asked Supervisor Moorlach to explain. What is he intending?
Well, what we're proposing, based on prior litigation that we've reviewed, is that we've made payments to people who made decisions on the fact that this benefit was provided. And so they've retired and they've been getting this benefit. We don't see a fairness issue here of asking for that money back. But we do see that it has to be stopped going forward. I think what's really something I want to make clear is we're not taking away 3% at 50. They would still have that benefit. And so those that started after that became effective will see no change at all in their benefits. It doesn't touch them. Those that started before the benefit became effective would have a blended formula. They would just not get the benefit of the retroactive portion to the date of hire. So we want to make sure that that's real clear, that we're just trying to remove the retroactive component.
If what Mr. Moorlach is saying is that this was retroactive, so you have individuals, say Mike Carona retired in 1999, and I retired under 2% at 50. And now July 1 of 2002, 3% of 50 comes in. If he's talking about me getting an enhancement, that never happens. The way the retirement system works, you retire under whatever is the agreement between either the associations or the employees. If you're, like in my case, an executive manager, it's a direct negotiation with the County of Orange. They set my benefits, my health care, my retirement, how much they're going to pay me. When you retire under that benefit. If next year they raise the salary or they enhance the medical benefits or they enhance the retirement benefits, I don't get that. But if I'm an employee on June 29th and I think 3% of 50 is going to pass on, and it's going to be effective July 1, and I retire July the 2nd, I get that new benefit. Now the argument that Moorlach seems to be making is, yeah, but you never paid for that benefit. Nobody ever has. When the county went from 1.6% on safety retirement, which is what I started 32 years ago, to 2% back in the 1970s, and eventually now to 3%, those people who retired from 1%, 1.6% to 2%, they never paid the overall benefit. What happens is, it's like a life insurance policy. You look at what the total cost is. You know the number of people that are eligible for retirement. You know the number of people that you have that are working, and you create this unfunded liability. And then you assume that you're going to pay for this, much like you do your house. When you buy your house, you don't buy it day one. You pay for it over 30 years. That this is going to be paid for by people who, some of whom are going to retire right away, so they're not going to pay into the system. The vast majority are going to pay for it over a period of time. And there's a percentage of those people that will never retire. They will leave to go off into some other line of business. And so the way the retirement fund works, employees pay into it, county pays into it, the retirement board invests those dollars and they get a return on investment. If I leave early, if I never retire, all I get back is the money that I've paid into it, not the county portion, and 3% interest. Now the retirement board may have been earning 7% or 8%, or in the heydays of the 80s, 14, 15%. I only get 3% against the money that I put into it. And so that other chunk of money is utilized to defease that liability. But it's something that's been done in every county, in every city, with the state of California, with the federal government, even in the private sector for a number of years with respect to defined compensation benefit programs.
We've also said to the deputy sheriffs, you know, we could try to cure this by having you do the same as the other unions have done, and that is you also have employees pay for the retroactive portion. And then if we can get that resolved before having to file an injunction, then we can get this issue done.
Supervisor Moorlach clearly stated that this issue is a moral and constitutional issue, not a personal vendetta against the Sheriff's Union.
I fully appreciate their service to the citizens of Orange County. I'm appreciative of the great work they do. I appreciate that they put their lives on the line every day to protect each one of us, and my gratitude is deep. We both believe in upholding the law. That's what we were sworn to do as electeds and as peace officers. And so now we're finding that maybe the law was broken. And we're in this difficult situation of saying, do we look away and ignore it, or do we address it head on? And we're dealing with constitutional issues, we're dealing with financial issues, and this is not about personal issues.
So this is only about the rule of law. When all of us came into this responsibility, we all had to sign, and I still remember, we all had to sign an oath to support and defend the state, or the Constitution of the state of California. And if we were to take a look at this and say, you know, it's unconstitutional, but it's just going to raise, you know, so much anger, and it's just not worth it, then we will have violated that oath, and we have no business being here serving the people. The people express their will through the Constitution. It is our job as public servants to adhere to that will.
Sheriff Carona is concerned about the ramifications of Supervisor Moorlach's proposal.
If in fact they prevail and they go to the absolute extreme of getting the injunction and taking the money away from retirees until this has ever been litigated in court, I think you're going to have a huge trust issue with the Board of Supervisors, and the question in the deputy's mind, who values my being out here? John Moorlach isn't out there at 2 o'clock in the morning on Christmas. You know, John Moorlach makes all the holidays that his family has. You know, deputy sheriffs, they're stuck in the jail on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. They miss soccer games, they miss birthday parties. They understand that comes with the territory. But they feel like they're valued by the citizens of Orange County, and they feel like they've been valued by the electeds in Orange County. This changes that dynamic dramatically, and I'm assuming it will have a very negative effect on the psyches of the deputy sheriffs.
We want to know what you, the viewers, think. Please respond to our survey and leave your comments below. Number 1. Is it fair to employees to decrease the previously agreed upon benefits? Yes or no? Number 2. From what you've heard, do you think that a public official is morally obligated by the Constitution to challenge a public employee benefit that may be illegal? Yes or no? Should elected officials be obligated to approve pension benefits for public employee unions who have contributed to their campaigns? Yes or no? Please respond to our survey and be sure to leave your comments below. Thank you. As you can see, full disclosure is not in the business of distorting the news. We're not in the business of trying to convince our viewers, only to inform them. We're a nonprofit educational organization. We provide the platform and the vehicle where you can hear the various perspectives. It's up to you, the viewers, to determine what is right and what is wrong. If you want full disclosure to continue to shine the light of truth on important issues that the mainstream media just won't do, then we need your support. There are so many important issues facing our communities, our state, and our nation, and your tax-deductible contribution can help us get the word out to continue informing the public. You are invited to join the Friends of Full Disclosure. Your support will help assure that we can reach more and more people and improve the production quality of our programs. All you have to do is send us the much needed support using PayPal. Just click on the link below and join at whatever level you can afford. Our goal is government accountability. When the people are informed on the issues, then the people in government must do what is right, because they know we're watching. Together we can make a difference, but we need your support to continue bringing you the news behind the news. Please contribute what you can. Thank you.